Yeah, the cool. This is a film with Ray Fiennes. It is a British film with a largely British cast. The story is it is a small provincial town in the north of England in 1916. And this is 2 years into the First World War, where a lot of the young men have been called up. Well, it's before the conscription, so a lot of the young men have volunteered and have gone over to France. We have seen a lot of losses, but it hasn't had the big battles yet. So there's still that suggestion that it might still be over by Christmas.
Mm.
And this is the beginning of 1916. And there is this in this town, there is a choral society that are struggling to sort of perform their sort of annual pageant or their annual show because all their male voices have disappeared. And they have their one of their main director has volunteered to join the army to go to the front in France and Belgium. So the people who organise this, the local sort of aldermen, decide that they're going to have to recruit someone to come in to become their new choir master, their new choral master,
Yeah.
and they invite Ray Fiennes. He is a proficient, oh sorry, an expert musician and a director of music, but he has been living in Germany, so he's become something of a persona non grata
Mm.
amongst musical circles because they regard him a little bit suspiciously. But he's available and he's good, so they invite him to come along, and they're going to do I think it's St Matthew's Passion as a song, but it is by a German, as by Mozart, so it's by a German composer. And they say, no, we have to have something British. So they decide that they're going to put on an Algar choral piece.
Yeah.
And the film is literally about them gathering their choir and then using the events of the world, the fact that the world is at war, the well, Britain's at war, the young men are going away, and one of their premier voices, their tenor, comes back from war, severely wounded. And the play of the song the choral piece they're going to do is called "The Dream of Gerontius," and that's
Mm.
basically a man at the end of his life is dreaming that he is met by an angel who is basically talking him through the end of his life.
Yeah.
The devil is trying to tempt him into hell, and the angel is trying to lead him into heaven. And at the end of this piece, there he is sort of drawn through purgatory with a promise that he's going to end up in heaven at the end of it. And they use the imagery from this play, but bring it into the context of the First World War. So you see that instead of an old man at the end of his life, it's a young man who's been in the fighting,
Mm.
and the angel is like one of the nurses who is like the voice, and someone else is like plays the devil, and the promise of so they bring it into the context against the backdrop of the First World War. So yes, that's it. The performance, the music is done beautifully. It's beautifully sort of performed. All the voices are stunning. I don't know whether they're professional singers and they just dubbed, but it certainly was beautifully performed. Not a piece I know. And you see, yeah, this sort of it's written by Alan Bennett, directed by Nicholas Heitner. So it's very much sort of
Okay.
um,
Was this a stage play?
I
Because
don't know.
because that's some real stage play pedigree we're talking there.
Yeah, yeah, but it's possible if it's Alan Bennett. He sort of writes. You tend to think of him as sort of it started this sort of genesis on the stage.
Yeah.
Uh, but yes, no. So it has his normal themes. Sort of suppressed homosexuality is in there.
Yep.
Sort of these illicit relationships are in there. The fact that you have this sort of provincial town with sort of a slightly seedy underbelly. There's like the local sort of, I wouldn't like to call her prostitute because that sounds like a bit of a hard word, but let's just
Yeah.
say she entertains gentlemen,
Yep.
and is
Sex
paid for
worker.
her.
Sex worker is the
Yes.
term we use nowadays.
And it turns out that she has been entertaining a number of members of the choir. And it also deals with sort of young men, that whole almost like that maturity through sexual experience, that that you're not really a man until you've had some sort of sexual experience. So
Yeah.
that is in there as well. So that and that also suggestion of we know what's to come, that we have that knowledge that the people in the piece don't.
Yeah.
So this at the beginning, halfway through the piece, you see that they introduce conscription. So you know then that there's no hiding place. But as
Mm.
soon as these boys hit, some of them are 17. They're just they're working, but they're not old enough to join up. They're like, basically, some of them are like treading water before they can join up the army. And then
Yeah.
conscription is brought in, and they have to go when they're 18. So we know that the Somme hasn't happened yet. We know that Passchendaele hasn't happened yet, and we know that what is to come. And so when you see these young men, you we don't know what their future is, but we can guess, that
Yeah.
some of them it's going to be difficult. So it was quite moving. The music was beautiful. The performances were good. The feeling of mood it created was good. Very, very Alan Bennett. So you know what you're getting with it. The odd use of quite strong language when you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm not sure I don't hear that in a provincial town in 1916, but this is Alan Bennett we're talking about. He likes to sort of drop these expressions in, I suppose, just to jolt us out of our comfort zone. So
Yeah.
no, I thought it was a really good piece. I really enjoyed it. Um,
How many stars?
four stars.
4 stars for the choral. I mean,